guys, it's me, Marty, and welcome to a very, very special edition of First Impression Fridays. So I have a really big, awesome thing to share with y'all today. So I have a series of Tartlette palettes for the next 3 First Impression Fridays. And here's the reason why, because I got this in the mail. So apparently someone in one of the makeup gods heard my prayers when I asked for this on Instagram not that long ago. And I wound up coming to me, so I was very excited about it. So we have 3 different palettes in here. We have all of the Tartlette palettes. We have the original Tartlette, the Tartlette in Bloom palette, and the Tartlette Toasted palette. So let me start by saying that I've never owned a Tarte palette before. This is my first 3, I guess. So I was really, really excited to get this. It retails, each palette themselves retail for $39. This whole kit of all 3 of them retails for $90. It's going to be available at Ulta online only right now. And I think they said it's going to only be online, but I saw it in the store this past week. So I don't know if there was a certain date that they were going to wait, but it was supposed to be online only, but whatever. They're calling it the Tartlette Volt. Tarte also sent these. They're little purple cat ears. It was close to Halloween when I got it, so maybe that's why. I don't know if that's a thing. But I said since I got it, I was going to put it on. Ma'am. Okay, now I'm ready to talk Tarte. So this is the whole set. This is the Volt, the Tartlette Volt. And again, it has all 3 of the palettes in there. Today, I used the original Tartlette palette. It's so pretty. So let me take it out so we can talk about that one. So again, today we're talking about just this one. Let's talk about the packaging on all of them though first. These are the cutest palettes I've ever seen in my life. They are so compact. Like this is the Tartlette palette. They are super shiny. They're like a hard material, almost feel like a resin or like an acrylic. So it's a nice heavyweight palette. It has the name of the palette and then, well, let's just talk about this one. It's got Tartlette across the front, the Tarte on the bottom, of course. It has the purple that most of the Tarte products have, and then it has gold trim all over, even on the back. So the back is beautiful. This one is the matte palette. It was the first of the Tartlette tribe. It's palette. It's so pretty just even looking at it. So this is the inside. It's got a big old mirror. It has these 12 different shades. We're going to swatch them in a second, but I just wanted to kind of go over the packaging with y'all. They have cute little names. Oh, cute little names for each shade and all of that. So this is the palette itself. So if you want to see how I created this look, this eye look right here, using this beautiful Tartlette palette, you can keep on watching. Thank you. Okay, so before I actually start with this amazing looking palette, I already have my brows done, face is primed, eyes are primed, all that stuff is ready. So I'm so excited to try this. Y'all have no idea. So this is the original Tartlette palette. Now we already talked about the packaging earlier, but let me just say again how beautiful this palette is before you even open it. It's so gorgeous. They're hard instead of like a cardboard, so it seems like it'd be so easy to like just pick it up and run and not like mess it up. It's so beautiful. So this one again is the original Tartlette palette. It's the 12 matte shades. Let's open it up and see what's going on. I love the gold. It just looks expensive. It feels expensive too. So, okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it has a big, gorgeous mirror. This is the mirror. I mean, it says Tartlette. You can see my ring light. It says Tartlette down at the bottom. They smell good too. They smell like almost like chocolate or like marshmallow. They smell good, and the colors are just beautiful. I'm so excited to try them out. So these are the colors. I'm going to swatch them, of course, after I do my demo. So we're going to go ahead and demo these shades now. So let's start with, for transition, let's start with this Wanderer color because it's really pretty. So Wanderer right here. I'm not sure. I didn't plan out exactly what I was going to do. I like these 3 colors, so I think we're going to do something in the purple family today. So just like always, I'm going to go ahead and do this eye, and y'all can follow. I'm going to do this eye for y'all to follow along with, and then I'll do this one off camera just to save time. So again, we're going to go in with a beautiful kind of taupey shade Wanderer. I'm just going to put a little bit more on than I had a little while ago. It's been a long day. My eyes look so tired. So yeah, for today's look, a little bit of kick up. So for today's look, I'm going to stick in this purple little quadrant right here. I mean quadrant, I guess it's more of a triangle. So we're going to do these right here for today, since we're trying out the Tartlette palette. which I've never tried before. So I think I'm actually going to save Best Friend. I want to use Best Friend for something else, I think. Yes, I'm going to use Best Friend for something else. So I'm going to use Dreamer actually for my transition shade, which is this really pretty taupe shade up here. I mean, y'all, the transition shades, the nudes are beyond. Like, they're perfect. So let's do Dreamer. Dreamer might be a little bit dark, but we'll take a real light hand. So I'm going to go with Dreamer, this shade right here, really, really light. And let's see what's up. Okay, yeah, it's pretty. It's really subtle. Oh, I love already. Just the transition shade, and I'm already like obsessed. This palette is amazing. This palette, actually, I would even use it like, not if you're doing like a one-stop shop, but again, this would be an amazing travel palette, so you could use it as a one-stop shop. But if you're not using it as a one-stop shop, if you have a palette where you can't find a good transition shade, I think this palette would be, I mean, there's so many different options that you could use. But it is very pigmented, so like using Dreamer, I have to be very, very light touch with it because it's really pigmented. I mean, it's beautiful. Okay, so Dreamer's on a transition. You can actually see on the eye I did off camera, I took a little bit too much up and it made it really, really dark. And I mean, I was tapping my brush into this, not a big swirl, not a big whoosh. I just did like kind of like this and put it on, and that's how much it applied. So pigmentation is amazing. I thought this palette was a little overpriced when I first started looking into it, because I wanted to get this palette for a while. I just never wanted to spend the money. But I thought it was a little overpriced, but because the pans are so small and it's such a little palette, but the way it's made so well, and on top of that, the colors are so pigmented that I think you'd be all right. You're gonna get your money's worth out of this palette. I mean, it's really nice. So I'm gonna go in with Multitasker, which is this kind of brownish raisin looking shade right here, and I'm gonna use that actually in my crease color today, as a crease color today. So again, I wanna show y'all how light I'm tapping this brush. That's it. That's it. And watch the color. I mean, I barely tapped that thing, and this is the color. So it's a little dark, but I mean, for us women of color, it's hard sometimes the eyeshadow game is kind of hard to get stuff to show up on your skin. This one, you should have no issues with. I might have to actually brush some off. It's a little darker than I was expecting it to be, which I don't say often. I'm usually trying to pack it on to make it look nice, but not today, Tart. Tart said, no, ma'am, not today. Y'all, I love this palette already. I'm not nearly done, but I'm kind of in shock at how much I like this palette already. And like I said, when I checked it out before, and I've checked it out a couple times in the store, you know, you go to the store and you see the little testers. Like I went to Ulta a couple times and messed with it because I really considered buying it. And then I forgot what happened, but for some reason I didn't want to spend the money, I'm sure, knowing myself. But I didn't want to spend the money on it, but it is, I mean, this is such a gorgeous palette. I'm so excited to try the other two as well now that I've tried this one. Do I want to do a V color? I mean, this is so pigmented. Yeah, let's play around with it a little bit. Okay, here she is. She is back with her V brush, my contour eyeshadow brush. That's what Shani calls it. This little palette, I keep opening it and closing it. I used to have that habit really bad when I was younger. Like when I do my makeup for high school, me and my sister shared a room, and she used to always say she would hear me opening and closing compacts over and over and over and over again. Every time I finish with one, I use it. I close it. I don't know what that's about. Like I'm not gonna use it again. Hello. Anyway, so now I'm gonna go in with Bombshell, which is this really pretty dark purple raisin color, and I'm gonna take a little tiny bit. Oh, so dark. It's gonna be really dark, but that's cool. It's a V color, so it's fine. So I'm just gonna dot my V here. Pop. I will say, this color Bombshell and the color I used before. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do my V yet. Crap. What's wrong with me tonight? Whatever. So this color, the color Bombshell and the color Multitasker, on the eye they look pretty similar. I don't know that that's a problem or not, but it just, you know, bears mentioning. Okay, I'm gonna use this precise blending brush again just to blend everything out before I go in to my lid. This is amazing. I love this palette. It's so pretty. I like it for the same reason that I like the peach palette. What's it called? The Too Faced, the Sweet Peach palette. I like that they're neutral colors, but darker neutrals, because it's hard to find, like, I don't need 50,000 taupes. You know, I don't need 80,000 vanillas. Give me like 2 vanillas and a couple of milk chocolates, a couple of situations like that, and I'm good. So this one has all of that here. Ooh, it's pretty, it's pretty. If you wanted to do a really dark eye look too, this would be a really good palette for that. I didn't think about it tonight. I just didn't think it was going to be quite this pigmented, so I didn't plan on that. But I mean, next time, definitely with one of these, I think the next one I have is Tartlette and Bloom. So the next one I do is Tartlette and Bloom. We'll try to do a darker look with that one because this pigmentation is insane. So just going to go ahead and hollow out my lid using my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil and Milk like I always do. Well, most of the time I do when I need a softer look, and today I want to do a softer look. So now something I don't usually do that I did do tonight is I put the milk on a little heavier because the colors are so dark. I want my lid color to really kind of pop, so that's why I did that. Just okay. And see, that's the reason I usually don't do my V color till after, because I don't like when it mixes like that, so I'll probably have to go back and add a little more, but whatever. Okay, so my milk is applied, so now my lid is chiseled out and I can really kind of play with the colors on there as well. So let's take my SL Miss Glam eyeshadow brush. This one is the one I always use for matte eyeshadow. If I'm packing on the lid, I always use this one for matte. And I'll usually use this one by Bogache for glitter. So since this is a matte shade, I'm just going to use SL Miss Glam real quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use Best Friend, that shade I mentioned earlier. I'm going to use Best Friend on the main part of my lid, and then I want to use Caregiver. I'm going to put Caregiver on the inner corner of my lid and to highlight my brows. So that's the plan. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's the plan. Oh my, ooh. So again, Caregiver, I'm just putting it right in the center of my eyelid. These would make beautiful lip colors too. Like I love a good mauve, a good nude, and these would be perfect. So, you know, it's hard. I'm not telling you what to do, but maybe a Tartlette lip set, like maybe like 12 little mini lipsticks inspired by these shades. I would be totally down for that. I would have no issue. This palette, I know I keep saying it, but I'm rarely this impressed with the palette the first time I try it. This one is really, really nice. So that was Best Friend that I applied to the middle of my lid, and now I'm going to go in with Caregiver for the inner corner of my eye. Just gonna take a little tiny bit. And then for the brow bone highlight, I'm gonna go back with the same one, Caregiver again. I'm just gonna go with that right on the top here. I'm probably gonna go back with another brow highlight, just because I like a shimmer on my brow, so, but we'll deal with that later. I kind of regret that I waited this long to get it now, honestly, because it's such a good palette. I wish I would have kind of been more on it. So for under my eye, I'm going to go with Natural Beauty, which is this pretty, like, brownish, brown. It's almost between Caregiver and Natural Beauty, but Caregiver and Best Friend, but it has a more brown tint to it. It's really pretty, though. So for my main under eye look, I'm going to go with Natural Beauty. I'm just going to swoosh that all the way across just to get a pretty little line. See that line? Nice and cute little line. Not too much, not too crazy. And then I am, last but not least, going to take my Morphe eyeliner brush, which is a Morphe M165. And I'm going to dip into this beautiful dark matte black Fashionista, and I'm going to trace my lower lash line with it. Just so that, you know, we got a little smoke situation happening here. Ooh, y'all, that is the best matte, as far as matte blacks go, that's the best matte black I have ever seen. It was like a stamp on my eye. So those of y'all who are a little hesitant about using like a marker eyeliner, like I love a marker, and some people love a good gel pot, some people love, well, you know, whatever is your taste. But this, if you want to use a eyeshadow, that's the best black I've ever used under my eye like that to make it, to create a line, and it's everything. I mean, I'm actually just gonna smudge it a little bit because I like it so much. Yeah, it's so pretty. Okay, one last little thing I'd like to do before I'm finished with this beautiful palette for the night. For tonight, I'm sure I'll use it tomorrow and the day after that. I got a busy week this week, so I think I'll be using it a couple times. Just gonna go ahead and give another little pop of color to the inside of my eye, the tear duct area. So just to get some on the bottom too, because I got it in the top and on the side, but not really on the lash line. So that completes the look with the palette. I'm gonna go and finish the rest of my look, and I will be back, and we'll decide if we are gonna give this first Tartlette palette. Oh, we need to swatch it still. We're gonna decide if we're gonna give this first Tartlette palette a diamond or not, and we are going to go ahead and swatch the shades. So, okay, people, so I am back. My look is completed. Complete with little Tarte cat ears. Of course, why not? So I wanna go ahead and swatch these shades for you. Again, this is an all matte palette. It's a little palette. That's why it's a Tartlette, I assume. It's so cute though. I just love this palette. I love the packaging of it. Like it's so easy to like grab on your way out. Like you're leaving for the weekend or you're somewhere and you're late like I always am. So you have to hurry up and grab whatever you can and get ready on the way. This is a perfect palette for that. So the first row we have, we have Free Spirit. We have Force of Nature. These are nice. Let me zoom in a little bit so y'all can see it better. So that was Force of Nature. Then we have Dreamer. Oh. Multitasker, so. These are the first 4 swatches. So if that's the first 4 swatches, we're about to be in for a real good time in a minute. All right, so that's row 1. Yeah. Okay, so row 2. Caregiver. Oh. Natural Beauty. Natural Beauty is really pretty. Best Friend. And Bombshell. I mean, y'all. So, like a good matte palette is hard to find. And let me show y'all how I'm swatching this. Like, I'm not digging super deep. That's it. Oh, they feel so creamy. They feel so creamy. Like, on my fingers, it almost feels like a liquid. That's crazy. Supermom. Wanderer. Ooh, Power Player. Fashionista. I mean, look at Fashionista. That's insane. So, those are all our swatches. Again, I just want to go back and mention a couple other things about it. That these retail for $39 each. And I've messed with this. I've checked this palette so many times at Ulta. I've swatched it in the stores. I've looked at it a million times. I never bought it, and I don't know why. $40 is a lot of money for a palette, but I've bought more expensive palettes that were not nearly as good. So I don't know where my mind was. The back of this is so shiny, too. I can use it as a mirror. Like, that's insane. So anyway, these swatches are completely ridiculous. That's really, like, after my Anastasia palette, that's probably the second best swatches I've gotten so far on this since I've had this channel. So this is, again, the original, the first one. This is the Tartlette palette. So this is part 1 of the Tartlette series. I adore this palette. If there was something higher than a diamond, I would give it that, because the texture of it, look how they blend it so easy. They apply so easy. They are super pigmented. I like that the shades are neutral, but different neutral. Like, they're darker. Like Bombshell, which is this one right here, and Fashionista, which is this one right here. That wouldn't be in most neutral palettes. They're really strong, gorgeous shades. Again, all mattes. All love for all matte palettes all the time. And it's just a great, I think the Amazonian clay that's in it, that they put in everything, makes it such it makes them so creamy. It's just really, really nice. So the Tartlette palette, the original Tartlette all matte palette, gets a diamond from Diamonds and Denim. Next week, I'm going to be doing the Tartlette in Bloom palette. So y'all can stay tuned for that one. So that's going to be the second part of this Tartlette series. So thank you so much for watching Diamonds and Denim. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, or you can go ahead and hit me up on social media, which will always be the last slide. I'm also going to post the corresponding blog to this. I'm going to link that down below. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.